All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is week 4 with Twisted Picks. This is your captain speaking. I know we got some turbulent waters out here. It can be real tough. In fact, let me tell you, I know it's tough. I'm missing a hand, I'm missing a leg, missing all these body parts. I think it just can't get any worse. And then I ask my lookout. He says, Captain, it does get worse. I said, how? He says, I'm missing 2 body parts too. I said, what 2 parts are you missing? And he said, well, Captain, I. I know some of you struggled last week. We here on this ship, we didn't struggle. We're 4-2 in week 2. We're 5-1 in week 3. We're going to help you right the proverbial ship. You just check us out here. These are the picks we got for week 4. Twisted Picks from your captain. Game number 1, Thursday night football. Miami at Cincinnati. Miami's 3-0. They just bet the best team in the world. And every time I got a rule, I say bet against a team that just played Buffalo, especially if they won. You get beat up. Tua bounced his head off the turf. You see him staggering to the sideline. Sure, he hurt his back. I don't think so. That's a concussion if I've ever seen one. People are going to look at that game. They're going to love they're getting the hook with Miami. But it's a hangover spot. And on a short week, I lean to the Bengals. Public perception on the total. Who's quarterbacking? Okay, it's not Mitch Trubisky. It's not Jacoby Brissett like last week. These are good offenses. Let's go over. But how about some trends for you? Miami has played to the under in 9 of their past 13 games. The Bengals have played to the under in 8 straight games. The last 5 times the Dolphins have played at Cincinnati, let's see how that went. Under, 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 5 in a row. Those trends are going to stop at some point, but not on a short week. Vegas is not adjusting. That total is still too low. We're playing under 47.5 points. This is game number 2, Jacksonville at Philadelphia. This game screams total to me. The overs come through in 5 of Jacksonville's last 7 and 5 of Philly's last 6 home games. You got 2 good quarterbacks playing the best football of their careers in Hurts and Lawrence. I can easily see this game going into the 50s, but there's something else just nagging at me. How about these numbers for you? Jacksonville, 0-7. That's 0-7 in their last 7 against the National Football Conference NFC. Philly is 9-1 straight up in its last 10 against the AFC South. 9-1. Not a math guy, but that's something around 90%. This game is going to be on at Pats and Geno's and Tony Luke's and every other cheesesteak place in the city of brotherly love. Those are all real places. You look them up. Seems like it's written in the stars, right? Philly, Philly, Philly? No. That ain't how we do it on this ship. When they zig, we zag, and we do it hard. This Jacksonville team is for real. People just don't want to admit it yet. The upgrade from Urban Meyer to Doug Peterson is worth somewhere in the neighborhood of 7 to 38 points per game. I don't know. Give me the points. Give me the Jags. My 10-star lock of the week, Jags plus 6.5. Game number 3, this is Seattle, the Seahawks. They're from my C at Detroit at the Lions. Remember the good old days when you could count on a feisty Detroit Lions home dog, covering double-digit spreads on the back door with Matt Stafford to Kenny Galladay at the buzzer? It ain't them anymore. Jared Goff's playing way bigger than his hand size. People fell in love with this team on Hard Knocks. They got a running back who's fast or quick or speedy or brisk or something like that. They got a mother effing sun god playing wide receiver. How do you short this team? And it's the Seahawks, the 15 points per game Seahawks. Geno Smith is quarterbacking. I'll tell you what, Jim Abbott could count the number of rushing touchdowns the Seahawks have so far on his right hand. Combine that with a bleak-looking injury report early in the week. DeAndre Quick, questionable. Amon-Ra, questionable. Geno may as well be questionable with noodle arm. You hang a total of 50 in a game quarterback by Geno Smith and coached by Pete Carroll, who's got 1 foot in Club Med already. It's a sucker spot, but I'm falling for it. We're playing under 50 points. Game number 4, Denver Broncos coming off a win Sunday night at the Las Vegas Raiders. The Denver defense, probably the best unit in this game. Not a lot to go on here. Raiders have lost 3 games to start the year to 3 teams who collectively haven't beaten anyone not named the Raiders. This is a toss-up game. I'm usually tempted to take the free points in a game I can see either team winning, but here I think I'm going to take the team that is more desperate. Kitchen sink game for McDaniels and the Raiders. Adams and Surtain, that's a pretty good matchup on the outside, but I think that Waller eats. Carr pulls something out in the second half. Maybe the Broncos spend a little too much time on the strip and get hung over. The Raiders feel like they're talented enough to make a push for the postseason. They have to start right now. They find a way to avoid going 0-4 for the first time since 2014. Raiders -2. Our 5th game on the slate, it's the Kansas City Chiefs at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It seems like it's hot in Florida. We'll see if it cools down a little bit here on Sunday night. I got something of a blind spot for this Tom Brady guy. Apparently, he's covered a lot in his career. It hasn't gone so well for me. I know what's supposed to be the bet. Tom Terrific, underdog at home, public leaning the other way on Kansas City. It has to be Tampa. But I just can't fight it. I've planted my flag, and they are really broken here. I wish I had a bit more info on whether Godwin and Jones were going to play. Evans is back. I don't think it's enough. Tampa hasn't scored 20 points in a game yet this year, and I'm not sure they're ready to here either. I really like the under with a Tampa defense that's really good, a pedestrian offense, and the Chiefs have improved on that side of the ball also. But like I said, this is a flag planting game. I love the fact that Kansas City dropped that game to Indy last week, which if you tried our captain on the 1-900 number last week, we gave it to you. Indy plus 5.5. Take it to the bank, little juice on the money line. But you got to think that was a look ahead spot for the Chiefs. That this is the one that was circled. Chiefs are healthier. Mahomes is better right now. Chiefs win this game. Chiefs minus 2.5. Last game of the week, the Los Angeles Rams coming to the San Francisco 49ers. Oh, those 49ers, the team of my heart. If ever a primetime performance deserved another one to back it up, it was this last Sunday night's game against the Ponies at Mile High. Am I right? The Niners have a legitimate good defense right now. They've had a lot of success against the Rams last few years. They know McVay well. Look at the total. This game screams under to me. That's probably the safe play. But then I look at the spread. This game feels very trappy to me. If you're Joe Schmo in Idaho, you landlubber, and you put your potato down mid-bite, you say, am I really getting plus money to take the defending Super Bowl champs here against a team that scored 10 points with Jimmy Noodle on Garoppolo last week? It seems so obvious. I really think the books are begging you to play the Rams. McVay, 10-4 as a road underdog. I can't figure out why the Niners are favored. And when something looks trappy like that, I've been on these high seas long enough. I know what the play is. You take the ugly side. I got my heart broken Sunday night. I'm going back to the well one more time. Niners have a chance to get back in the thick of the division. I think they need it more than the Rams do. Niners, somehow, some way, despite a huge gaping hole on the left side of that line with Trent Williams out, they find a way. Debo scores. Garoppolo sneaks in a short one from the 1-yard line. Bosa has 2 sacks, and then Niners minus 2.5. Ugly. That's how I'll end the week on a loss. It's the NFL. Weird things happen every week. May you take in these games with all your first mates. Keep the sails full and pointed to the horizon. Godspeed in week 4, sailors. I'll see you back here again next week.